Canon, from the Greek word meaning ruler or straight edge, now to mean a sanctioned or accepted group or body of related works. Headcanon, when someone invents a piece of canon they really believe in that may or may not be accepted as a general part of fandom. Continuity, the unbroken and consistent existence or operation of something over a period of time. Continuity, where we're going, we don't need continuity.
Because that's how you get ants!
In 1996, the first Tomb Raider was released for PC, PlayStation, and Sega Saturn consoles. There were two big reasons why Tomb Raider was so successful. It's the guns, right? Lara Croft and the environment were full 3D. There was a full orchestrated score. And while she does have big guns, the franchise always focused more on puzzles and pitfalls than guns blazing. The game spawned sequel after sequel. I mean, they're still making new Lara Croft games to this day. In 2001, Lara got one big upgrade, the jump to live action on the big screen. That's right, today we find anything nice to say about Angelina Jolie in Lara Croft Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider.
I mentioned Jolie because, well, that was kind of a big deal, and let's start with that as the first nice thing to say. I can't imagine a better casting decision for, well, this. It always seems like the video game character's image was based on her. At the risk of being demonetized... Wait, we're not monetized? We don't have enough subscribers. Please subscribe. At the risk of monetizing in the future and then immediately being demonetized, Lara Croft Tomb Raider is a giant action movie boner. I mean, this movie has everything an action movie needs. Guns, knives, secret societies, Daniel Craig, side boob, motorcycles, reanimated statue monsters, swords, Mr. Pims, killer robots, triangles, dead zones, Russians, indigenous people, dream sequences, home invasions, dead fathers, temples, doom. The biggest problem with Lara Croft Tomb Raider is probably the pacing issue. I mean, it's basically non-stop action, and let's be honest, it's most likely one of the best video game adaptations of all time. I said it. The plot of this movie is something about a magical broken triangle that can control time if the pieces are reunited during the planetary alignment. Lara's father, played by Jon Voight, left her a key and some clues to beat the Illuminati to it. You know, because the Illuminati are so triangle obsessed. Lara, with her trusty butler and spastic hacker sidekick, is up against Manfred Powell, Daniel Craig's Alex West, and the full fortune and resources of all the members of the Illuminati. It's a race to find the pieces and solve the puzzle before the planets finish aligning. There's some stakes and a veiled warning about the Illuminati will use the triangle to reshape the history of the world. I mean, they're already insanely rich and powerful. Why would they need more wealth and power? But just go with it, guys.
I wouldn't have to work hard.
Lara ends up winning, probably because she wants it more, has a contact-like meeting with her dear old dad, after which she saves Alex, kills Powell, and destroys the triangle. We end up right back where we started, Lara training for her next adventure. With a movie that leaps from one action sequence to the next, it makes for a very intense ride, and the thing is, this movie does a great action sequence. The opening is Lara Croft fighting off a killer robot. She's pumping shot after shot into it, finally gunning down a pillar that falls onto it to obtain her prize from the tomb. Once she has it in hand, the robot leaps to life only to have her stop it by command, insert her reward, and start playing music. In Lara's world, if she wants to listen to her jams, she has to survive a killer robot. Also, that whole fake temple is just set up in her house. There's something about this movie that just inspires envy. Lara is outrageously wealthy. She has a full-size stone tent monument to her lost father in her backyard. Her driveway's a mile long. She has an observatory. Like, look at that. And of course, the library. There are a few dream libraries. They're like this one and the one from Beauty and the Beast. All the books are covered with a sheet, and her father makes some obscure reference to a poem, and she knows exactly which book it is and where it is on the shelf. The best scene in the movie is when Lara tries to unwind it before bed, so she goes bungee jumping in her foyer. During that time, she's subject to a home invasion where the bad guys rappel down from the ceiling, so it's all aerial combat. Lara's bouncing off the walls, running, tying dudes up, cutting them down, all to the insanely in-your-face soundtrack featuring Fatboy Slim. Which I owned, by the way, and contains the only U2 song I consider worth a damn. And let's not forget Where's Your Head At? Remember when Missy Elliott remixed Get Your Freak On with Nelly Furtado? Yeah, Tomb Raider says you're welcome. That movie soundtrack was everywhere. Was Tomb Raider the greatest movie soundtrack? Maybe. Look into it. The aerial acrobatics is only the beginning. Lara takes a dumbwaiter to a garage where she starts shooting guys with screwdrivers loaded into a pressure gun. She's destroying her own cars. She uses the car alarms to overwhelm the night vision goggles, then drives around and karate chops a dude with the back tire of a motorcycle. Dude, if your heart isn't racing during 90% of this movie, then you're dead inside. The rest of the action scenes are just as intense, but the home invasion seems to be the best, most loving set piece of the film. It showcases Lara's problem solving, her intelligence, and even her wealth. So the home invaders get away with the key, and they're dead, I guess. This is the part where the UPS guy rolls up and Lara makes the joke, "I woke up this morning and just hated everything." The moments of humor in this movie are just the right amount of dry. Even when everything's over, it's still not over. After she destroys the triangle and the last puzzle has been resolved, she still has to escape after her sled was crushed. She's holding on to the dogs as they drag her while she's skating, skiing, sledding out of the temple. And to be honest, it looks like Jolie was having a great time. Lara Croft is a Mary Sue. She's good at everything. She's super smart. She's super capable. She is superhuman. There's really no tension that she's in any real danger or is going to lose. They try to make a case that she's better than the tomb-raiding bad guys because she cares about the people or she cares about respecting the local environment, but it's lackluster at best. She's a bored rich kid who gets her jollies by breaking into sacred sites and stealing artifacts. It doesn't have to be any more complicated than that. For me, this movie is kind of like 1998's Godzilla. Maybe it has departed from the source material, but it's still a blast to watch, has a killer soundtrack, and seems like everyone had fun. If it's playing on TV, I'd stop to watch it, and there's nothing wrong with a movie like that. That's all for this episode of Anything Nice to Say. It belongs in a museum, and never be ashamed to like what you like. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Head over to Patreon to subscribe for exclusive content, early releases, and to get your name in the credits. My book, Live Like Legends, is available now wherever books are sold. If you have a movie about which you would like me to find anything nice to say, be sure to drop it in the comments. There's temples, doom, peril, time travel, clocks, houses, antiquities, dog sleds, ice temple.